What's up, good people? You're watching BRUDDC Entertainment. I am joined by a very special guest. Goes by the name of Monica on TikTok. Monica, just introduce yourself to us really quickly.
Hi. I'm
Hello.
Monica. I'm called Money on TikTok, but technically
Okay.
it's Monica.
Okay. Cool. And what made you start doing TikToks?
Mainly my gym videos, just gym progress,
Okay.
and then
Is
I
that
just like to dance,
okay? What sort of dancing are we talking about over here?
just a wind up and a shake.
Okay. Fair enough. Okay, so we're going to attempt to do like a small summary of your life. I know you said we spoke off air and you've had like a really hectic sort of upbringing, life, all the rest of it. I mean, you've been through stuff that no one should probably go through. Let's start from the beginning. Your childhood. Let's start right from the beginning. What was your childhood like growing up? And where were you born? Sorry. Where were you brought up? What area?
Originally, we was brought up in Holbeck.
Holbeck.
Yeah.
Okay. Is that in Leeds, is it?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Well, it's like Beeston sides.
Okay.
But until I was like 7.
Okay. What was
and
it?
then
So
we
what was
moved over here.
So what was it like growing up? What was it like growing up around the Leeds area then, sort of?
When I was younger, it was different. Because
Okay.
when I was younger, when I was about 5, we could just go shop by ourselves and go out by ourselves and play anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I used to go shop at like 5 with my friend
Mm-hmm.
and just play out.
You used to go to the shops at 5 on your own?
Yeah.
Jeez. I think I think
when
back
I
to
say it to my mum, she always goes, "It was different back then."
yeah, I think yeah, that the old school sort of, yeah, that is like an old school mentality really. The kids could just go out or whatever and stuff, but
Yeah.
not have to worry about crazies. But the weird thing
Yeah, we
is
were kids climbing trees and all that type of stuff.
yeah, me too. But I think the weird thing is like people like that when you speak to the old timers, like our parents and stuff, they seem to think that the world was like this great place back then. But the thing is, the main thing now is we don't have social media telling us what's happening every 5 minutes. Like if someone gets kidnapped in your area, you might not have heard about it. But nowadays, if something happens, like bad news just filters in like a freaking like the UPS always on time, delivery, it just comes in like instantly. So crazy.
Yeah, nothing gets by anymore.
Crazy. So I must ask, are you mixed race, or what do you prefer to class yourself as? Mixed
I
race?
don't mind mixed race. I know that someone said to me the other day that they're not allowed to use mixed race anymore because he asked me what I want. He goes, "I know you're not supposed to say mixed race, so are you interracial?" I think he said.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm half Caribbean and I'm half white.
Okay, cool. So what was that like then in Leeds? I can't imagine there was many people that looked like you around in that area then.
In Holbeck, it was more Asian and white populated.
Okay.
And then when I moved over here, I lived in like an estate, and there was like loads of different families, and there was all different races.
Oh wow.
So I didn't really find that, to be honest with you. I was in a school with all the kids was Muslim, and I was the only mixed race one. In the school photo, you can just see me, and everyone else is Muslim, and then there's like one white boy. So all my friends in primary school was Muslim.
Okay, so a sort of Asian then, were you saying?
Yeah. I'd just hang around with them.
Okay, cool. That's not too bad then, because I know a lot of people I spoke to.
They was lovely though. They'd have to go to like pray and after school stuff and that, and I'd just tag along with them.
Oh, okay. Did the religion didn't rub off on you then?
No, because they didn't push. They just was like my friends. It was just like me. We just played. Nice. Apart from they was a bit more strict.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't really see religion then. I just saw him as my friend.
So what was your like your family life like growing up when you was like back in
growing up? I grew up with my mum. She's had 5 girls. I'm the youngest. I've got one full sister, and then my other sisters got a different dad.
Okay.
That's my mum. If we talk about my dad, we'll be here all day.
Okay, fair enough.
But yeah, I was the youngest.
Yeah, I mean, we spoke off there, and I mean, you've been through some crazy stuff. Honestly, like when I heard it, I was just like, wow, like how does this little girl survive this? And to come up and bring up, you've got 2 daughters yourself.
I've got a daughter and a son.
Okay, yeah. So you've got 2 kids now, and obviously one of the main things you said to me was last time was that you want to make sure that they're given all the love in the world, sort of thing. So
yeah. People hate that though, because me and my son are really close, and they're all like, "Oh, you need to let him grow up." because he's 11, but he'll still cuddle with me and chill with me. Do you know what I mean? Because we've just got that bond, and he's my youngest. But I don't see nothing wrong with that. People, if however people want to be with their kids, I'm not trying to make my kids grow up too early. I don't mind them being childlike and still being young.
And that's one of the things that's like, you know, when kids they get their sort of they sort of like, you know, start getting hair on their chest, so to speak, and as they get older and they start thinking, yeah, I want to go do what everyone else is doing. But in theory, you know, there's craziness happening out here to poor children, you know, and some children suffer in silence, you know, like like people are crazy. They let their kids just go out nowadays and do whatever.
I know I had a fallout with my son a few weeks ago. He actually made his nana come and pick him up. He was not happy. He wanted to go out, and the kids that were playing out, they was bobby knocking. And I was like, you're not going out to knock on people's doors. Like, I know when I was a kid, I used to do all that, but it's no. And he just said that I'm mollycoddling him and I won't let him grow up. So it went to his nan's.
It's honestly, and you know.
But his dad's the same, because his dad said, let him go and I'll just watch him. I'll just hide somewhere in car and watch him. So even he can't let go.
Yeah, I mean that's even harder though. To be fair, to go out and watch them, you know, I think it's
that scared, which
it is scary.
Like we know what we've lived a life, so that's our child. So we're gonna think, we know what it's like out there. We know how kids are, and there's older kids out there that could pick on him. And he's never been in that situation because he's never been out without me. But I need to get a grip because he's going to high school, so I'm gonna have to get over it.
Yeah, you can release the reins on him a little bit, but still, like sometimes people are so obsessed with this, like letting their kids go up and do whatever they want, sort of stuff. The bottom line is, you know, everyone will let their kids go out, do what they want. There'll be a lot of people that do that, and most kids will be fine, but there'll be one kid today, tomorrow, whenever, every single day, there's something crazy happening to a kid, and you know, it's very scary.
As well, it depends where you live. Where I live, I don't want him playing out round here.
Yeah,
and that's no disrespect to anyone else's kids that play around here. Personally, everyone in my street will say, I never see your kids never play out. They don't come out here.
Yeah, I mean, you never know. You never, like, you know, friends, the influences and stuff that they have over them, especially the older kids. You know, like some of the things like in worst cases, they're making the younger kids go out and sell drugs. You know, and they say to them, like, you carry the drugs because if police stop you, you're not going to get arrested.
My son is very switched on. Everyone says he's like an old man in a young body. So he already plans his life out. Like he already knows how it's going to be when he's older, how you got to work. How you make money, bills, things like that. Obviously all kids plan out their lives, but it never works out like that, but he has an idea.
Okay. That's good. I mean, that's really good. So let's go back to your childhood. One of the main things you wanted to say is obviously that you had been through some crazy experiences as a young child, and you know, people never understood you as a child, and they always thought you were just some angry mad kids. But I mean, you've had some terrible situations happen to you. You've been let down by friends, put you in bad situations, kind of the things that we're trying to protect our kids from today.
Probably why I am like I am.
Yeah, exactly. And within reason, I mean, it's entirely up to you. Your first, like, you know, your first bad experience as a child was obviously a very traumatic thing. And I don't know if you feel comfortable just briefly talking about what you went through.
So obviously I was 11, I was playing out. And there was an older boy and his younger brother. So he decided to use me as like a template to teach his brother like what to do with girls. And then like I ran home and told my mum, and my mum beat me. Like really bad though, like it was a bad beating that day. And I was so confused because I was like, I don't get it. And my sister was comforting me and stuff. And it was just so confusing. She never explained it. Like she just said I shouldn't have been outside. But she never did anything. Like she never went over to the parents, or she never did anything. So I just kind of thought, I don't know, I was confused. I didn't get it. Like, was it my fault then? But like, do you know what I mean?
I can't even imagine what you went through. Like, you know, for an older boy to sort of use you as like, I don't know, you know, obviously we can all imagine what sort of stuff they were doing and stuff. It's not you know, it's terrible. And then to come home and tell your, like, that's one of the hardest things nowadays, you know, getting children to open up to their parents. But you were strong enough to and brave enough to
Yeah.
open up to your parents. And obviously, you said you got a really bad
Well, I
beating.
ran home. I was 11. I was like, what the hell? They dragged me in there. It wasn't like, I was scared. I was crying.
Wow.
But yeah, she beat me.
Wow. And that must honestly, I know you said you speak to someone now, don't you?
Pardon?
Did you say I think last time we spoke, I think you said you were speaking to someone that you had.
Yeah, that's finished now. I'm waiting for therapy now.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I mean, because honestly, that's tough. Honestly, that's tough. And
she was already like.
You went through your first, obviously, experiences, like, you know, your first crazy experience, sort of, you know.
You know, my first experience kind of ruined how my teenagehood went because of that. Because when it happened for real, when I was 12, I just let people think that it was like I was okay with it.
Mm-hmm. So you mean it? You said when it happened for real, like later on.
Like I said, the boyfriend that he'd pay us to iron some clothes, but she obviously knew what was happening. So as we've got to the door, he's dragged me in, and she's jumped over the fence and gone in her house.
Wow.
So that obviously, like, he obviously told her to like coax me to the house because I didn't want to go because of the past.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Wow. And obviously, yeah. I mean, did you tell your parents about that one, or did you let that one?
What happened about that one is he went around and told everyone that he sexed me, and everyone, my mum did the most embarrassingest thing, which is took me to his mum's house, and he was behind his mum like, don't you dare say. He was just behind his mum like, don't you even dare say no. Like, do you know what I mean? So I was just like this, scared in my school uniform, just like feeling like a tramp, feeling like I'm this 12-year-old girl who wanted to do this. Do you know what I mean? And I just had to just like let people think that in the end.
Wow, that's crazy.
Which caused me a lot of problems with girls.
That's and girls are terrible for things like that, aren't they? It's like
the
worst thing.
And that's it. But you know what's mad? She knew what she done. She knew. So.
And this person was never ever like taken down any sort of legal proceedings or anything. He just got away with it.
Now I was a kid, and now I was 12.
Wow, that's insane. I mean,
but it was just like, it was stupid. Like, I don't even get what I don't know. She just didn't really know how to deal with situations then, because it was more embarrassing for me than anything. I just got made to feel ashamed. And then she grounded me for ages, and everyone was like, oh, you did this with him and stuff like that.
Wow. That is honestly, it's amazing that you're actually here still, and you know I can see it's amazing, you know, because I know a lot of women that have been through half of the stuff you've been through, you know, they end up in a totally
when you're young, though, it's like you're just kind of getting on with it, like you just like, you know what I mean, the girls that I was chilling with, they're like, oh, it's okay, like, do you know what I mean, it's fine. And then it's like, do you know what I mean? But after that, he just took liberties.
Yeah.
He just whenever. He'd just grab. If he see me. If I seen him and he see me, he's grabbing. So I had to like make sure I couldn't see him. I'd run from him. Or if he was outside, I wouldn't go outside and stuff like that.
I mean, that just sounds mental, to be fair. Like, and it's such a sad thing. I mean, it just sounds like you were just sort of left to sort of deal with life on your own from a very young age.
I think people just assumed a lot. But like I said, the girl known. She planned it, dragged me in, she knew. So
it's great. What's scary is you got someone that's capable of doing these things that probably hasn't been brought to justice, and God knows what he's doing.
I do get that.
That's crazy.
But, like, I was 12 and he was 13.
Yeah, like I said, I totally understand. I'm not trying to put anything on yourself.
No. I get that. Like I said, it didn't really do me no good when I was 11. So what's the point? Just let people think what they want to think.
I mean, I know it's a very important message that you wanted to put out.
It's not good that I allowed him to be out there because it could have hurt someone else. But like, it would have just been bad for me. Believe me, my mum would have had to move. We would have just got bare drama. It just wasn't worth it for me.
Yeah, it's crazy. As you say, it's not worth it. That means like
It wouldn't have been back then. It wouldn't have been.
Yeah, but
Because
the
they
fact that
either just, oh, you're just lying, or I don't know. I was 12 and I didn't think about any of that then.
it's crazy that when people hear about sort of women being sexually assaulted and stuff like that, and then they obviously the conviction rates of it is so bad as well. I think they said it's like 1 in 100 actually get convicted of like these sort of like a grape charge sort of thing. Like
I did
it's
have someone convicted.
okay.
That was in my 20s.
Okay, wow. So it just got so how did life go from there? It just seems like you just must
Obviously
have been
I was an angry, crazy kid. I didn't care. I just didn't care. I just ran street, drank, smoked. I just chilled I chilled about. I chilled on street, drank bottles, drank, smoked. I did everything. Wow. Young. I just didn't care anymore. Do you know what I mean? I thought they're gonna take it. I just didn't care. Wow. I'm not gonna lie, but that was, like I said, that's why, because you tell them no, they don't listen to no.
Oh, so sad.
The boys didn't care back then.
Yeah, there's no, yeah. I mean, yeah.
And then once you're vulnerable, it's like, I don't know.
Honestly, and I mean, I got asked as well, like you said you weren't that close with your dad,
and he wasn't very nice with me in the end.
Yeah, I'll lay off there, but that is a very upsetting topic for me when men do this and they don't look after their children. It's a sad thing. I see it every day, and they don't.
My daughter's dad.
Wow. Well, at least they got a strong. Yeah, at least they've got a strong mum, and I imagine I remember we were talking about earlier about being overprotective and stuff, and.
But do you know why though, innit?
Of course I know why.
People say stuff about my daughter. My daughter's pure and she's going to stay pure for a very long time because I've lived a mad life and she's never going to ever have none of that. Ain't no one going to touch a bone on her body without her permission in her life, because I'll go to jail for the rest of mine.
And that's what
I don't even like thinking about it. It makes me go like,
yeah, of course.
I don't like thinking about it.
And that's what a parent is meant to be. Unfortunately, this is what a parent's meant to be. Someone tells me someone's done, my daughters or anyone comes to me and tells me someone's pulled them in the house and done something to them. Like, that's probably the end of me. I'm probably going to do a life sentence. Probably, Because
I don't like any of my kids getting labelled bad. Once you start learning them bad and you start putting them on behavioural charts, they're going to start, you want to say I'm bad? I'm going to be the baddest one you've ever seen. Do you know what I mean? Because that's how we are. Yeah. So I got labelled bad in school. I got restrained in primary school. I spent like maybe 2 years in high school. The rest I was in bad schools. Wow. And then bad schools, we're just chilling with a bunch of other bad kids.
It's a terrible cycle, isn't it?
I never learned nothing.
Terrible cycle. And everyone, it's like prison, for instance. They send people to prison and they say, I went to prison, I'm there I'm there with all the criminals and they're teaching me how to be a better criminal almost. A lot of people say that, so
yeah, it's not always the best. Maybe things have changed now. There is a lot more like they've learned by the mistakes type of thing, but back then, like, they weren't really. I got restrained in primary school. Like, I couldn't imagine anyone doing that to my son. They sat on me.
Wow.
So they put me into violin and flute lessons so that I didn't have to be in the classes.
How did that go?
Mind because I liked it.
Can you play it still? Can you play the violin? Or
I haven't touched one since a kid.
Oh wow!
But I liked it because the woman was nice and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
Oh bless you. Crazy, honestly crazy. And then obviously we're going to slide away from obviously the family, the childhood. I mean, you've been through some crazy situations.
That's half of it.
I know we're glittering over it, but I can only imagine, like, you were a vulnerable child left alone with no sort of strong every child should have their dad in there. It blows my mind, and I'm sorry, I can't let it go. It just blows my mind.
I'm just used to that though.
Yeah, I know it's your normal, but I mean, it just blows my mind that some men can just.
If I want to speak to my dad, I can speak to my dad, but
that's not
like, he don't business with me like that.
I would hate it if my daughter was saying the same thing about me. That would drive me mad.
I love my dad though.
Yeah, of course you do.
I don't have no bad mind. My dad's had a hard life, and I have spoke to my aunties from St. Kitts and stuff about my dad. I'm not gonna lie, both my dad and my mum have had both, they've literally had alcoholic parents and had to bring themselves up from the street. So both my parents have had it hard. So yeah, it did affect how they raised us, I guess. But I ain't trying to repeat no circle.
No, that's the brilliant part to you, you know, and that's testament to you, you know. And that shows how that inner strength that you have inside yourself, and I think you just keep believing in that, because obviously, yeah, that's just mental. Honestly, I can't imagine what a beautiful little child's just had to grow up and
I
go
think
through
that's
all
why I
this.
said to you, like, my memory's mad. I think, like, I told the woman the other day, like, I swear I think I've got brain damage or something, because, do you know what I mean? Like, I can't remember a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
But maybe that's because I've suppressed a lot. I've just blocked it out.
Yeah, of course.
I can't pink out the little good parts. I have to block them all.
Yeah, wow. That's crazy. And then let's slide over to the relationship status now. I mean, I know you said you had a terrible relationship. You went through some horrible domestic violence, and the sort of trauma just followed you, didn't it, really? I mean, let's start from the beginning. How did it start?
My last relationship. I knew the guy for a long time. I knew him when he had businesses and cars and things like that. He went to jail, he got out, he started talking again. He told me that he's got his kids. He had custody of his kids. I thought, oh, he's a different guy, you know what I mean? I had a full-time job. I was in a great place. I was in a great place. And yeah, we started dating, and it slowly just happened. It's weird. I don't even know how it got from that to that. I really can't even tell you.
Do you remember the first time?
It was a slow progress.
Do you remember the first time he hit you then?
He wasn't really hitting. He mainly just choked you.
Jesus. Yeah,
my other ex before him he'd leave bruises and stuff. He still tries to ring me till this day.
Wow.
Yeah, 7, 8 years later, and he'll still ring me and ask me why I don't talk to him.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Some of these men, you know, they get what they like. They love a vulnerable woman, or they love a vulnerable woman.
I think that as well. That's what scares me, because I think I pick vulnerable dudes, because my ex he'd been abused, and he told me a lot of horrible things that I felt so sorry for him, and I wanted to change his life, and I wanted to see that he could have a nice life, and his kids could go to school, and you could have this normal life. You don't have to be this crazy guy that's just so angry with everything that's happened to him. But obviously it didn't work out like that, because I didn't know that he was addicted to drugs. It just, like, say I'm staying at home for a couple of days, but that was his binge day. But I didn't know that. I thought he just drunk. I just thought, oh, he's drunk. You know what I mean? You don't take stuff. You don't really know. I just thought, oh, he's just drunk. He's just had a drink. But yeah. It graduated, really. I started, like, falling asleep randomly and waking up in the middle of the night. I just thought, oh, I'm tired, fell asleep. I didn't think nothing of it. But obviously, he was putting stuff in my drink. Wow. And I started to click on. But, like, people are weird. Like, why didn't you just leave then? It's weird. You're just so trapped in it. It made me feel guilty, like, because when we was together, his ex broke all his windows. So the social said if he doesn't get somewhere to stay, he'll lose his kids. So I came to the rescue. I worked full time, looked after everybody, bought the kids stuff, bought him stuff, fed everybody, went to work. And that's what probably kept me going more. The kids, I felt sorry for the kids, and they'd guilt trip me a lot. But they'd text me, you know, and I didn't want him here, and they'd be like, oh, we miss the house, we miss you, you know, can we come back? Stuff like that. And I think if he didn't have the kids, I think that I would have exited a long time before it got to that point.
Okay. That's mental. Jeez. I just think some of these men, and it must be hard for you to even trust anyone now. Like, you know, I mean, you're still a beautiful woman, you know, you still got your whole life ahead of you.
I feel like people think it's mad, but I can pick up energies. I can pick up auras. I just know when it's not it. Yeah. I feel like I can sense that now, but I don't know. You just can't. You think people are your friends, and then they set you up and they leave you at guys' houses, and you know, and then they don't want to believe you
Yeah.
because we're all friends, and they don't want to believe that their friend would do that to you until they went to jail and spent 6 years. Then they wanted to believe me.
Mm. It's amazing though, isn't it? It's like you just, even family, you know, it's just like if someone does something in your family, you want to believe them. You hear they've done something bad, you just want to believe them. And I think that's what it is with people. They know someone, oh, he wouldn't do that, he wouldn't do that, he's a really
Yeah.
nice guy, he can get all the girls, blah blah blah. Why would he do that? But it's the
Why
thing,
would you do that? I've had
it's
that.
those are the type of guys that do this stuff. The guys that
Do
have
you know what
like,
it is as well for people that like rape victims?
yeah,
It is hard because when you do go into court, they do sit there and tell you, you wanted it, didn't you? You were flirting with you, want it. You did want it, didn't you? You're just lying, aren't you? That's what they do. I struggled with that. I was ready to go crazy, and the woman just said to me, she kept looking at me saying, don't, because she told me this is what they do. They will do that because that's just part of it. But that just put a lot of women off. I couldn't imagine someone like weaker that they just don't want to take. They just not want to press charges. I think that's why a lot of women don't, because it's a lot. It is a lot. It's medical, there's court, there's everything.
So I mean, I mean, the whole. I don't know if you want to just summarize the process of, like, you know, of what happens when you prosecute. So, what was the actual prosecution?
Well, basically, when I've only ever prosecuted one person.
What was the charge?
But he was like a friend. Well, I thought he was a friend, but anyways, we was going to like basically we was all friends, and he walked me home, and it just went from there. But basically, the court thing, he was out for a whole year. So he just thought, I deadly think he didn't think that he would get sentenced. So he was out for a year, just living his life. I had to hide. I had to be worried. Do you know what I mean? It was not a good year for me. And then obviously, because I didn't shout it out to the world that he done it. He lives in my area, so everyone knows him. He's around everybody. Everyone's pally. And I knew this thing, you know. But I couldn't do nothing until the court process. But yeah, the court process, basically, you just do medicals. You do then a court, which I couldn't see him because I didn't want to see him. So they made it where I couldn't see him. And then I said my thing. And he said his thing, because like there was a knife involved. He said that I picked up the knife and he took it off of me. So he had a story for everything. But the day he got sentenced, I actually started a job, and it was a new beginning for me. So I didn't want to ruin that. So I went to my job. I went to start my first day at my first job, and they rang me and told me that he got 6 years. But it was 3 years inside, 3 years out. But what happened is he did 3 years and came out and started to try and convince people that he didn't do it. So I obviously ran my solicitor, and he got sent back for the next 3 years.
Yeah, I mean, people are talking about grape culture like it's a myth, and it's like, what you can see why some women decide just to say, you know, I've had enough and I'm just run away from it, because to go through everything that you're going through, I mean, it's
a whole year.
It's shocking. You
got to walk past that person. They're free to walk around and stuff.
That is a major failure. I mean, I don't know why someone that's able to use a knife and grape a woman, why that person only gets 6 years. One is crazy.
He didn't even charge him with obviously he didn't stab me with it, but he framed me with it. And the only reason I got out of my house is because he opened the window wide enough to throw me out of. And because he was sat there doing it, I saw my chance and I ran out of my house. And he even assaulted a neighbour that helped me get away from him. And they've moved. They moved literally like a month after that. They moved, but they actually was kind enough to be witnesses, which I appreciated, because they actually really didn't want to get involved. And they didn't want to get involved because he was really like, you know what I mean?
I hear that.
But they did in the end, but they've moved.
So are you still in the same area now?
I'm still in the same house.
No, how?
I know. I have thought about it. Should I move? But my kids don't want to move. They like it here. They're happy. So I can't think about myself.
That's really brave. That's really brave and noble of you, and that's testament to the person you are. But I don't think you'll ever be able to heal properly in that area. I honestly don't. I think you need.
I know this isn't my forever. I know I don't really want to spend my whole life in Leeds and never see the world. But I've got mad anxiety, like, so what I'm comfortable with, I'm comfortable with. Like, I know where my shop is, I know where this is now, I know where that is. That's do you know what I mean? If I went to another area, it's just going to play with my anxiety, and I'm going to have to start learning to accept the new area and all of that stuff that comes with it. It's not that simple for me.
Yeah, I hear that. And it's not that simple anyway for anyone just to move areas, you know. But I mean,
I have thought, because the map perimeter has stopped now. I had a map for all the way around me that he couldn't go to, but because he's done his whole 6 years now, it doesn't count. So he can go where he wants. I did ask the solicitor. I emailed her again, and she says there's nothing she can do.
That just sounds like just like they want to encourage women to prosecute men that do bad things to women, but there's no protection for them. Like, and this is not the first.
You can prosecute them, but one day they're going to get out. They're not going to stay there forever, and that's what we all got to remember. Do you know what I mean? They're not going to be in there forever. And I actually know what it is. I was planning to move during that 6 years of him being in, to move. But then it's like, why should I move? You know, why should I up and move my kids and where they're comfortable and stuff? My daughter don't even want to move. She says she's taking over this house when I move out.
Wow.
They're comfortable, so it's selfish of me.
I think, yeah, I mean, I think you're being a great person, but I mean, most people are going to sit there and think, you know, you're in the same. It's like I imagine, like, you know, you're in a tight knit area, like where I was brought up in a tight knit area. Like,
yeah, everyone knows everyone.
Exactly, I know that sort of feeling, that sort of area, and the things that you've been through, like, you know, just like, you know, honestly, you must have some higher power just protecting you, and, like, you know, not protecting you, well, keeping your mind at peace almost.
My mind isn't at peace.
Wow.
It is. Like I said, I'm working on. I'm healing. I'm accepting that it's not all right, and I can't keep pretending it is. If people don't spend enough time trying to get to understand me, they just think, oh, you're just going on, man, you're too much or whatever. So they just brush me off. So I don't put myself out there. That's why I don't really be doing the TikToky thing. I don't like to be center of attention. Hi, everybody, look at me. I just like to chill, blend, you know, I'm just there.
Well, I think, honestly, I think you're playing it down too much. I think people should look at you because you've been through so much. No, because honestly, you've been through.
Because they look at you different then.
No. But what I'm saying is but I mean, you're
damaged. You know what I mean?
You are no. You're not damaged because you're a very strong person. You've been let down from a young age. You've been let down. I know you want to play it down because obviously you love your parents and stuff, but you have been let down and left on your own from 11 and basically left to the wolves of life. You know, you've been left to the wolves. I mean, you should be patting yourself on your back. I mean, because I know you're obviously putting a brave face on, but you're a very special and powerful person to be able to.
I don't know how I feel about any of it. Like I said, I've got it off my chest a bit to my mum. Not everything, because it's a bit. I don't want her to feel bad because there's not she can do now. But when you know, like when that happened to me when I was 24, like I said, it got 6 years. I got raped when I was 15, and the woman told her. Well, it came out, and she cried. First time like I've ever seen anything from her, and she was crying, and she was like, "Do you want to prosecute the person and stuff?" I said, "No." Do you know that day I walked home and I got back in bed and she didn't even notice I'd gone. That probably upset me the most as well. When I was 15. And then I didn't live with her after that. But yeah, I don't know. It's one of them like why me type thing, innit? Like it's always me, and it's just like I'm just prone to badness. I don't know. I'm not a bad person either. Like I've just lived a life and I'm defensive and I'm not really gonna have anybody be any type of way with me. Like I'm not. I don't really care if you're a man. I don't really care if you're a woman. I don't care if there's 10 of you, 5 of you. I'm not backing down because I did that. I used to get jumped when I was a kid. When I was like teenager, girls jumped me and stuff like that. Like, and I just never stood up for myself until one day I did, and I knocked her out, and I've never since then. I just feel like I don't care. Even if I get beat down, I'm still gonna come.
And that's the key. That's the key to anyone that's getting bullied. No matter what it is, I always say it to my kids.
They weren't bullied. They thought I'd slept with a guy, and I actually didn't. He lied to them. I actually didn't.
And
Never
guys do
did.
that.
I got a lot of shit for that. All my friends fell out with me because the girl fancied him and she was my friend and we was 14 and I told her I never did that because I never did. But he told her we did and she actually believed him and she got all the other group to join in and yeah, one day I got jumped. Like I looked like I'd been in a car crash. I had an eye patch on my eye for time. I could have gone blind in one eye. My mum never wanted to let me out after that. But then I got set up again. So yeah, it's just mad. I've had madness with girls, but now I don't even care. Like I don't care. Do you know what I mean? It's just different. I don't know. Something goes in my head like I'm not having this. I'm not a victim. I don't want to be a victim. So I think that's why I'm defensive. I'm not being a victim no more to anything, to any disrespect, anyone being funny with me, any of that. I don't know.
I hear that, and that's just obviously your coping mechanism now. You just
I guess that's hardcore.
You don't give a fuck now. Basically,
nah.
anyone wants it, they can have it. Basically, but
basically, yeah.
But
you want to put yourself in my life, and you don't even know me. You don't even know what type of day I'm having, but you want to be disrespectful. Because I tell people all the time, you need to be careful who you say stuff to, because I could have had a really bad day today and lost the plot.
That's what I mean.
Like, you don't know who you're talking to. Like, people just willy-nilly be rude out here. I don't be rude to no one. I don't hit anyone. If you hit me, I'll come for you back. If you disrespect me, I'll disrespect you back. But I'm nasty with it. I'll do it 10 times worse. And they'll be like, oh, can't believe you did that. Can't believe you... It's always that. When I hype up, I'm the crazy one. But you lot have all built me up to this point. Yeah. That's what they do. I've always been labelled the bad one. I'm the black sheep.
So I mean, where do you find peace in your life? Like, what have you had? Have you had the kids? I get that, and you're being protected.
I think everyone says that. Oh, the kids, they love the kids, but I don't know. It's different for me. I wanted my daughter. Her dad didn't want her. I knew he didn't want her, but I wanted a kid. I wanted a girl, and I got her. I don't know why at 18 I did, but I did. I don't know. I just wanted someone to love me back. She gave me a purpose. I tell her that all the time.
Wow.
She's a really important person to me because I wouldn't even be me. She's given me a reason to even be bothered. Do you know what I mean? And then I had my son. But people always get annoyed with me because I always go on about the kids and stuff like that when I'm out. Because my cousin, we're going out this weekend, and she's like, you make sure you sort your kids out because I'm not listening to you on phone every minute asking if they're vet.
I think anyone that's sort of like understand maybe people that watch this maybe will understand it a little bit more, your life and your upbringing and from your perspective. But I mean, when summarizing this, like, I just see a child that's been let down by everyone. I just see a child that's been let down, no matter how you dress this up. Every child.
I guess what's happening to my daughter. I think I don't know where my kids are and what my kids are doing and who my kids are around and all of that. But I don't know. She never even sat.
I think obviously in your head, God knows what you think in your head, but just
a lot.
I can only imagine, but obviously channel it towards more positive things. You're living your
I think making the kids happy is weird. I just buzz off them. I really are. I just buzz off them right now. I'm just like I do love being a mum. I love being a mum because I feel like I'm important to someone and stuff like that. I'm needed, like I'm needed because when I have my really bad days, I want to run away and not come back. And I'm like, I can't do that because who's going to look after my daughter? Because I know my son would be good because his dad's really close and stuff, but my daughter only got me. So that keeps me going as well. Can't really give up. I don't have time to give up. She's at that precious age. She's 14 right now. So right now is on her.
Yeah. I get you. Honestly, I totally understand it, but I just think just living in the same area with all of them. Like I just don't know how someone can actually. The fact that you're even having
in
good
the same
days.
House.
The fact that you're having good days is a freaking miracle. So honestly. I hope one day your children maybe understand what you've done for them, because you've really.
They know about my mum.
Yeah.
My son doesn't like my mum for it. because he's heard about it and she's made jokes about it. Oh, your mum used to get beat. You should. If you were mine, you would have got dinner. Because she always tells me I should hit him when he's bad and rude. I'm like, I'm not you. I'm not hitting my kids. You know what I'm saying? But they don't really like my mum because of how she's been with me, because they've heard from family and stuff. Like I said, they make jokes about it. So
wow.
yeah,
That's just metal. What other than your kids then? I mean, is there anything else that you want to achieve in life? Is there anything else that you want to do? Is there anything else you want to experience?
An holiday maybe. I've got mad anxiety, I'm not gonna lie. Don't really like the thought of the airport or the plane, but I'm gonna have to get over it. So I do plan on getting, because my son's dad really wants to take him away, but I don't really want him to take him away. I kind of want to take him away.
I hear that.
So I need to kind of get his passport boxed off and stuff. But yeah, a holiday with my kids.
That'd be nice.
Would be, and maybe getting back into work when I mellow out.
So what does a normal day for you look like? Obviously everything's for the kids, but what does a normal day look like for you?
Normally, I just get up, I get the kids sorted. Now they'll be going to school by themselves, but usually I do the school run. And then I go straight to the gym and I train for a couple of hours. And then I'd come home, clean, wash, cook. By the time I've done that, the kids are back. I kind of like to keep active. I can't really be, I like to be doing something. You know what I mean? If I sit on my sofa, I'll start looking around and I need to move that over here now. You know what I mean? I have to keep my brain occupied all the time.
Wow, it's crazy. So you said, I know you said a big part of your life now is the gym. Like when you go to the gym, do you feel, is that where you can just let it all go?
I just go now. It's mad. I do like the gym. I'm gonna go later. But yeah, I zone out. It's like it's an adrenaline thing. I think it's good for me. I think like I've got too much inside of me, and I've been sat on it for too long. So the training's just like, I don't know. I can get it all out. If I'm having a bad day, I can spend 2 hours in the gym.
Yeah,
it's going mad.
That's where you release. Yeah, I think. Do you find a lot of happiness helping other people as well? Like, does that?
What do you mean?
Just helping people. I don't know, like just helping people. Like, you know,
I always help everybody.
I can imagine you do. I can imagine.
I'm my favorite auntie. They all want to come in.
I get, like I said, I can literally imagine that you are the person that sort of takes everyone's bad stuff in sometimes. And
I do.
Yeah, I think
I do.
I think that it's hard to say people shouldn't do that, but you know, sometimes people need to realize that everyone is battling their demons inside, and some people have more demons than others. And then to like, obviously, yes, you can. Maybe it helps listen to people's bad problems, and it sort of takes it away from yours temporarily, but it's still not
kind
great.
Kind of does. It's not good though. Yeah, and that's why I like watching like drama, like crime documentaries and things like that. I go to sleep watching that, and it's weird that I'd go to sleep watching that. But I feel like, I don't know, maybe in a weird way that I'm like, oh wait, it wasn't that bad.
It normalizes, kind of.
Yeah, normalizing it, kind of. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't even know if that's a word actually, normalizing, but I'll check it. It's one of my Scrabble words anyway. But freaking hell, crazy, absolutely crazy. And obviously, I just want people to actually try and understand you a little bit more. You know, hopefully people.
Well, my life's not completely depressing. I don't want everyone to think it's like completely.
No, but that's just your brave.
That's
just the brave. That's just the brave soldier inside you. You know, that's saying that. But you've obviously been through. You know, you need a cuddle. You know, you need someone. You needed someone.
And do you know what's weird with me? Because my mum, like, we never got. I'm weird with affection. Me, like, I've had this issue with partners in the past. I'm not like all over the guy. Like, I'm not like, I won't touch you. I'll sit in a room all day and I wouldn't even come up to you, and unless I'm in love with you, then I'll just relax, and it's like
I was going to say that.
I'm so distant.
Yeah, I was going to say that. I was going to say that, like, you know.
No, I'll hug my son and that, but the way I hug my son and that, I don't have that with nobody else. I don't hug my family. Me and my family are not like that. We don't hug and stuff like that. We've never been like that. So We're just not emotionally connected like that.
I hear that. That's crazy. Is there anything else you want to get off your chest just before we end the last bit? I mean, you've been totally open. I mean, it's been lovely speaking
I think they've heard enough for today.
Yeah. Okay. This will be part one, maybe, and then we got a lot more. We're going to do a lot more stuff together, hopefully, as well. And maybe we can try and help some other people, and obviously, share some experiences and stuff like that. Maybe you can offer some advice on how you dealt with it and how you were able to sort of stay strong for your children.
I don't know if I'm the best person to give advice.
No, but the thing about it is,
I'm still breathing, but
I know for a fact you're suppressing a lot of stuff inside you. But the fact of the matter is, you're doing the work that needs to be done. You're being there. You're being a solid parent for your kids. They're making sure they're fed, they're clothed, they're dressed, they're taken to school. You've basically said, my life doesn't mean nothing now. All my life is for the kids.
It revolves around them, but it makes me scared when they get older. Like, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? I told them they can stay here forever.
Yeah, take a day at a time. Take a day at a time, because honestly, you're a beautiful woman, and there are good guys out there. I don't know whether the area.
I don't know where they are, but
yeah, I don't know whether I don't think that area.
They're all just locked up somewhere.
Yeah, I don't know if that's the area for you, because honestly, like if you was.
I don't want a relationship right now.
Yeah, I hear that.
Because I'm not really completely happy with me and with my situation and things. So it's pointless trying to be with a guy while I'm still in my healing process, because then he's kind of got to deal with me too.
Yeah, some guys, and you say that, but there are some. For instance, if a beautiful woman like you was brought up in London, you would have thousands of top tier guys wanting to freaking date you, wanting to marry you, top tier guys. Not like you don't believe me because you don't think of yourself like that. And I'll say this as well, like, it might not be popular, but mixed race girls in that grow up in certain areas where it's fully suppressive, like, with like white guys and stuff like that, you tend to be the second, like, tend to be looked at as like not the desirable one. But in London, if you grew up in London, I shit you not, you would have thousands, even hundreds of thousands. I'm not even lying to you. You would have thousands of guys that would be willing to worship a woman that look like you, and that's the reality of it. In your area,
the wrong city to live.
1,000%. I swear to God, if you was to go to London. I
have once, but one a great experience. But
yeah, I mean, there's not like saints there. But what my point is, you are a desirable woman in London. You're a desirable woman. Like, in certain areas, men would kill for a woman like you to call a wifey. So you don't believe me, I know, because that's because the area that you're from. But trust me, girls that look like you in London, they're the it girls. They're the it girls. They're the Barbies. They're the blondes, tall. They're the tall blonde Barbies, 6 foot Barbies. Girls that look like you. And I'm not even bullshitting you. I promise you that. But just certain guys appreciate certain things. But we're in certain areas, they
I'm just normal.
Yeah, you think you're normal, but you're not.
I'm just normal.
You think you're normal, but
no,
you would catch. Yeah, I know you're normal, but I'm talking about your looks aesthetically. I'm saying.
My looks. I'm just normal.
I would
look like a normal mixed race.
I would give you, honestly, you haven't had the sort of, I don't know, you just experienced bad experiences from the area that you're in. But I promise you, there'll be guys that look at this video and be like, damn, that girl fine, she got it in shape, she got a great body, and beautiful face. There'll be guys thinking, damn, I need a girl like that.
I think I put guys off with my vulnerability because they've kind of got to be careful with how they act with me, because I'm going to be triggered by certain things. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean,
so it's like I don't know, man. If you get to know me, I'm not even that hard, man. I like food. Do you know what I mean? I like to go out. I like walks. I like gym. Yeah, like, I'm a homebody. Like, I be at home. I'm like a wife with no husband. Literally. I don't like going out. I'm not really social. I don't go out clubbing. I am going out this weekend, but it's carnival weekend, so that's an exception.
Okay. Fair enough.
I will be letting my hair down.
Yeah, that's good. You need to.
I know. I need to. I get nervous about it as well.
And also as well, like, just don't accept. I know it's going to be hard, but like, don't accept nothing but the best, because that's what you deserve. Don't let like anyone treat you like. Don't go for like the grubby guy. Like, you know, there's certain women that just go, they don't see themselves as what they are, and they go for guys like 10 steps down the ladder, sort of like, you know, and it's always worse. It's like guys 10 steps down the ladder with problems with their own shit.
I think men kind of confusing though, because it's like they think, who are you to think that you could get this guy when you've got 2 kids and you ain't, you know what I mean? You're not living top tier life. Why do you think you could get a top tier guy? That's why I said I'm an odd. I don't need anyone flashy, as long as like you look after me. Do you know what I mean? I like to be looked after.
I think yeah, a not like there's
just normal guy, a grafter, someone that grafts and someone that looks after themselves.
There's plenty of normal guys out there, and you shouldn't accept anything other than a normal guy that's willing to work, treat you nicely, look after you, no problems, no alcohol problems, no drug problems.
Yeah,
you know.
I really, do you know what? I know I said that I can't have someone damaged. I don't,
You can't.
It sounds awful, but I don't think I could have someone that's been through stuff that I've been through, because I've done that and it doesn't work.
Yeah,
they've got trauma and it.
You need someone that's just got their shit together, you know, just a normal person that's got their shit together. But I'm just saying, if you was brought up in London, this would have been a totally different experience for you. It'd have been like, all the guys want me and blah blah blah. I know that's gonna seem crazy for you, but it's just
because girls are paying in London. There's 10 girls in London.
You obviously see the things.
There is 10 girls in London. They're not missing out. There's bare girls in London. Are beautiful, man.
How old are you?
I'm 32.
So you're 32, and you look. If I was looking, I'd say you look in your early 20s. You're a very pretty woman now. God knows what you look like when you were like, you know, 18, 19. You know, so I would say you were a solid girl that most guys would want to be with. You know, and especially in certain areas.
I attract young guys because I look young.
Yeah, I think as well though. Like, you know, you're gonna have some of these guys that are like, they just want to. They're gonna some guys, they see women as easy touches, you know, like, you know, especially if they got kids, they think, oh yeah, she's gonna put up whatever I've got to give her, basically. But I just think for you,
my kids don't need nothing. They're good, so I don't need a stepdaddy. I need someone for me.
Yeah, 100%.
Do you know what I mean? I don't even want, after my ex, no one's ever living with me. I always want my man to have his own house, and I need my own house. I always need my own space. I think that's what's important. I think that make a relationship work if you genuinely have your own spaces. Obviously, if you're insecure and you can't trust your man, then that's a different thing. But if you're secure in yourself and you trust your man, then I think it's he has his space, I have yours. Because all this I'm kicking you out stuff, I haven't got time for that. And when he annoys me, at least I can tell him to go to your house for a bit. Do you know what I mean? I don't have to full on kick the guy out.
And this is a problem just like that a lot of women are facing now. Like, not just everyone is facing this problem. It's just like relationships are so hard nowadays. It's just so hard. It's like, especially with like these apps that you can just swipe on people, you know, like, you know, it's just so hard. It's just like starting over from the beginning again. It's like, there's nothing, I can think of nothing worse, starting over from the beginning on that dating period, blah, blah, blah. You know,
and I don't go out though. So I tend to attract people from socials or in the gym.
Yeah.
Or just walking to the shop or something. Because like I said, but people say it's where you got to go around and you're going to meet. I'm not doing all that. Like, it's just going to happen naturally. Like, it's just going to happen naturally. I'm not looking. I'm not asking. I'm not looking. I'm just chilling.
Okay, I think I've extracted enough information from you for the first one. This is Monica's first one as well, guys. So hopefully loads of positivity in the chat. We're definitely going to see her again on my channel. Hopefully she's going to be with me doing some more interviews and stuff with other people, and maybe asking some more interesting questions. I don't know. But how was it, Monica? Anyway, was it as bad as you thought?
No, I just hate looking at myself.
Oh, that's because you see, this is in your mind. This is in your mind. This is all in your mind. This is from.
It's not. I can take a video and and post it, but like this, just sorry, I don't know.
You know, sometimes if you've been made to feel like you're not it, or you're not attractive, you're not good looking, or if bad things have happened to you, you tend to see yourself a lot worse than you actually are. And I'm telling you now, you're like, you know, on your, this might not be your best day, but you're still a solid 8. You're still a beautiful woman with a great body. I mean, so I don't know what you see. I don't know what you're seeing. But don't be putting up for anything less than top tier guys, you know, because not just top tier guys, but just I think you should have higher standards because you are a beautiful woman. Like I said,
I need to change my type.
Definitely.
Or just maybe
Or
like be open-minded a bit more.
Be open-minded a bit more, because this is what I said. I said this a lot to a lot of people.
No, but lots of stuff put me off, like swag.
Yeah.
Like if they've got weird swag, and I'm just like,
Mm.
oh.
Mm.
Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like if they was wearing, I don't know, man. Certain things just put me off.
I hear that. But yes, guys, this is Monica from TikTok. What's your TikTok name again?
I actually don't know at the top of my head.
All right, no worries, guys. I'm going to tag it. Luckily, with this being a pre-recorded interview, I'm able to tag this. So yeah, I'll put a nice I'll put a nice thing on there as well, so that people can see and hopefully get some positivity come over. And I'll share this all over TikTok. I'll give you loads of clips from this as well, so you can share them as well. So yes, Monica, it's been amazing having you. And guys, BRUDDC Entertainment, life stories, experiences, come and join me. Everyone, have a fab day. Peace.